I'm Jonathan Sabella. I was inspired as a kid by movie magic, everything from King Kong to Star Wars, dinosaurs to superheroes. Those inspirations set me on a path to study visual effects and help form me into the artist I am today. To date, I've been lucky enough to spend over a decade working on films, games, and VR. This is a place for me to delve into personal work, to connect with old friends and make new ones from the comfort of my home studio. This is VFX at Home. Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about VFX facial performances and I'll walk you through my Gollum project. Let's dive right in. The project started as a sculpture in Zbrush, beginning from a sphere. I then transferred that sculpt over to my animation-ready base mesh and began detailing the surface of the skin through custom alphas. In a VFX production, you can scan in the actor's face and have that movement drive the creature puppet, but in this instance I'm hand keying my animations directly on my Gollum mesh as they did for the original Lord of the Rings. The rig I created was very simple, consisting of just a few bones. The eyes are parented to the bones and I use joint-driven shapes to control the deformation. This joint opens and closes the mouth. To find the best position for this joint, I created an underlying skull and mandible and then compared the movement to medical imaging. I created all my textures in Substance Painter using hand painting. I built up the maps in layers of color and incorporated a detail mask to have it line up with my sculpted pores. I did a good amount of look development in Arnold using the Cave Academy light cage. Gollum is famous for his pioneering use of subsurface scattering, the effect of light entering and exiting an object that gives that glow we are all familiar with. The next step was to add the hair groom, which I created using XGen. The process for this involves laying down what are called guide splines to help tell the hair what shape and length it should take. Here are some images of those elements being brought together. Now comes building the facial shape library for the character. To do this requires a lot of observation and a good knowledge of anatomy. This is a simplified chart, but the aim is to keep the face moving in the proper directions corresponding to the muscles underneath. To sculpt the shapes, I used a combination of Zbrush and the same plugin I used in my Spider-Man project called Shapes, created by Brave Rabbit. This could also be done in Maya using their standard blend shape tools. The process of creating the shapes requires sculpting an isolated movement, but making sure that it has a fall-off effect on surrounding areas. I often sculpt something, see it in motion, and then iterate on it again as I do in this demo. These are just a few examples of the many shapes I ended up creating for my Gollum puppet. There are many resources out there to learn the different poses the face can take. Most of what I am creating is based on what's known as the Facial Action Coding System, or FACS for short. Ultimately, to create a full library, you'll end up sculpting hundreds of shapes, making sure they all work well together. Where needed, you'll need to create custom combination shapes that activate to correct anything undesirable happening when two or more shapes are turned on at once. Just like my Spider-Man project, you can do an overall finishing corrective pass on top of everything to get the final shot to look as good as you can. Here are some results of this project so far. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Please remember to like, subscribe, turn on notifications. In the comments, let me know what you thought or what you might like me to cover in the future. Alright, see you next time.